If you are looking to create stars on your sales team, then in this video, we're gonna talk about how to manage your remote sales team. And if you stay until the end of this video, I'll cover what the best decision you'll make in managing your sales team. I'm LizJSimpson, accompanied by
Kelly Watson, Director of Operations.
We work with the Big Money Movement, where we empower women entrepreneurs to secure six-figure corporate clients. And since you're watching this video, I assume that you are looking to hire a sales team and you're trying to understand how to better manage them remotely, or you might already have a remote sales team and you're not achieving your performance goals and you're thinking, how can we improve performance? So first and foremost, Kelly, as Director of Operations for our team, you've done a phenomenal job in just attracting our team, building our team, creating a culture. And I know that we have unique dynamics with the team with individuals all over the world. So from your perspective, where do you want to start?
I really want to start with the importance of managing them well, the importance of good management, because there's no way to manage an excellent team, a world-class team without solid leadership. And I really want to just underscore the need for solid leadership and what it takes to be that.
Yes. When you think about leadership, what's interesting for me is, so we have our sales team member, and for us, I lead sales and marketing, you lead operations, but we both interact with our sales team member who's remote. Do you mind sharing from your perspective as an op leader, your role in managing our sales team? And then I can talk about my perspective as the sales leader, if you will.
Yes. Even though I'm in a leadership position, I really take it upon myself and take it seriously to make sure that the sales team is supported. So what can I do as far as like making sure that they have the tech they need, making sure that they have the processes that are outlined. You're an integral part of that as well, but just making sure that our sales leader can access all of the things. If she needs reports run, whatever she needs to show up and do her job well, I think that's key from an operational standpoint.
I love that. Like, this is exciting to talk about this distinction because on one hand, you're right. So as the sales leader, I'm mapping out what the sales process should be. Like, what are those touch points? Who are you connecting with? What qualifies? What are the talk tracks? I'm coaching her on how to close deals, discovery, just the art of how she does the things that she does. I'm asking her, what's in the pipeline? What happened with, with these leads in the pipeline? But you are helping her with, okay, the process. So to your point, if there's any tech issues like technical assistance or making sure that the infrastructure is there. And from my perspective, like the accountability, from standard operating procedures and also knowing what's coming down the pipeline to prepare our program delivery side to be able to deliver to those clients and welcome them appropriately. Anything else from the ops side? I feel like you do so much, but I don't want to sit here and step on your toes.
Yes, from a metric standpoint, I know at any given time, like if we're hitting the goals, if she's doing well, or if I just need to send her a quick note of inspiration, like, hey, Taryn. Hi, Taryn. Hey, Taryn, you're doing well. We're so close. Our goal was 20 this month, and we're at 17. Or our goal was 10 this month, and we've way beyond surpassed that, and I can see what that does for her confidence. And if we haven't hit the goal, just like, hey Taryn, is there anything I can do to support you?
I agree. It makes me think about too when she's had moments where she's been frustrated or not known what to do or say, right? And so just also managing mindset. And I know often someone would imagine that the sales leader would do that, but I noticed that you do that as well, and I think that speaks to culture. So do you mind switching gears a little bit and talking about the remote component, like the unique aspect of managing her remotely?
Yes, the remote component is extremely important, and it's also just important to make sure that we're having intentional touch points so that we can have a strong culture where we can have direct and open communication. We can talk about our successes, also our failures and our challenges. And so I love that we try to make sure that we have an intentional touch point so that there's an open line of communication. If she's struggling, if she has any questions, we can answer them right away.
Love it. when you talk about intentional touch points, one of the things that came to mind, and I can't take credit that it was something I thought of, it's just there was a problem and we resolved it. And it was thinking about the fact that because we're a remote company and everyone's in there, they could be in their silos, operations is doing one thing, program delivery is doing one thing. And if Taryn stayed in her sales silo, she would just be focused on sales conversations, but she would miss out on program delivery. And so inviting her to program delivery calls, like inviting her into those meetings and making sure that she's having those touch points with everyone on the team arms her in sales conversations to know what we're actually doing. And you know, I feel like that's different. Like if you have a company and everyone's in the same office, you might just sporadically or randomly talk to someone who's in a different department and you're like, oh, that's what you're doing. And with us being all over the globe, it's like, no, you either have to have a Slack conversation or be invited to a meeting or be invited to an engagement to even know what we're doing with the clients, right? Like, are we even delivering on what you sold to them?
Yes, Taryn does her job so well that sometimes members of our team think it's automation. They're like, oh, we've got all these new clients and we're celebrating. But no, it's like it's a whole human nurturing our leads and really closing them and bringing them in. And so if we kept her in that silo, that would just destroy the culture. And it would just give our team, it would put our team at a disadvantage to recognize her and then also just to work with her. Now she's able to talk to our administrative assistant and say, hey, send more LinkedIn connections for me, or can you do this? Can you step in here? And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think it's led to collaboration. And I definitely think as leaders, we have had to model collaboration so that the team knows, okay, even when the leaders aren't involved, we should be talking together. We should be breaking down our silos and seeing how that we can focus on the client experience.
I know when we first started this discussion, you mentioned the best decision that you can make. What do you think that means? What does that mean for you? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I think it's our decision to adopt radical candor as a company. You know, when we speak about a remote team, I think one of the hurdles that shows up with that is people can be isolated. You know, we have someone living in Texas, someone living in Maryland, someone living in Canada. And the thing about sales is it requires consistent feedback. It requires skill set improvement. And I would worry about how can we make sure that we're continually developing our team with them being remote. And so for me, the best decision I think individuals can ever make is to adopt radical candor and a culture of consistent feedback. You know, and I think that's reciprocal. So, you know, Taryn, because she's having interactions with our buyers, she's often sharing ideas. Like, I think we should do this. I think we should adopt that. And they're brilliant ideas. And so she adds so much value to the company, and she brings a perspective I may not have. You know, on the other side of that, I'm watching what she's doing and I'm taking on the role of coach. And it's not always easy, right? She's a very seasoned salesperson that we've brought in. And so sometimes it's finding a way to provide radical candor of, you know, thanks for taking the initiative here. Here's some thoughts. You know, here's other ways that I think you could pose this language. Or one conversation we recently had is that, you know, she's a very seasoned salesperson, and not all corporate sales environments have embraced like authenticity and like showing up in transparency, and that's the culture of who we are and the women that we serve. And there was an interaction, and I know her very well, where I said, I don't know if you're showing up like the person that I know you are. Like, I think how you're communicating is not really speaking to the heart. How can we bring down your guard? And it was an uncomfortable conversation for me. But for her, she was like, thank you so much for saying that. She's like, no one's given me permission to do that. So now I have to think about it. So I think radical candor is one of the best decisions.
Oh, I love it.
What about you? I value, like, we have different opinions on many things, and I value that so much. So what would you say is the best decision?
I would say the best decision is to have that intentional communication. So the weekly one-on-ones that we have with remote team members. Some of our team members even say, oh, it's like therapy, because I get to I get to talk to Liz, I get to talk to Kelly, and they get to share like what motivates them
Yes.
or what challenges they're struggling with. And we also get to tune into the person. So what are they going through on a day-to-day basis? Are they planning their wedding? Or are they planning a baby? Or, you know, just like all of that is super important. And I feel like it motivates them and creates a cohesive work environment.
I agree. The one of our vendors introduced a concept that I really like that we do at times, which is the rose, the bud, and the thorn, to start the conversation. Like, what is something you're celebrating? That's the rose. What is a bud? Like something that's coming down the line that you're excited about. And then what's a thorn? Like, what's an obstacle or a challenge? And when we introduced it, I thought they were just going to say business. Things like, here's a rose, like I'm celebrating this in, you know, my role, and this is coming down. And I've been surprised they talk about their personal life. And I'm like, oh wow, like that communication, it really matters. So, yeah.
They're bringing their whole selves to work.
That's it.
Yes.
That's the mic drop. On that note, let's continue this conversation. In our next video, let's dive deeper into LinkedIn and the role it plays in marketing and sales. I'm LizJSimpson.
And I'm Kelly Watson.
We'll see you in the next video. Click it now.